Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist.
Let's get the beer to the stores so I can get it in my belly. And I don't have to settle for Genesee more expensive 12 count than I have to pay for a 15 count of my Milwaukee's best.
If you're on mostly liquid diet, then what do you think comes out the other end, Gregory? There's a fellow named of Off Grid Arcade that won't stop buying it. Well, no matter what, we roll up dog poo and paper, he buys it the next day.
Well, it's him or me. Uh-oh. He's got an aching head, an upset stomach, and an empty gun.
And welcome to the show.
Nice.
Oh, I had to come up with something different, and I figured it was all good at old Poe's expense.
Right.
I wasn't expecting it.
That's why, I said I'd show it to you before the show started, and I thought, no, I'm not. I don't want Poe to see it till it goes live. So.
I've been out here for nearly half an hour, and now that you click the live button and a freaking fly decides now it's going to fly.
Yep.
Must have just got cool enough for the fly. I'm down to 87 now.
Oh, nice. Mine still says 88. What the heck?
Yeah, that's my goal is get cooler than Pittsburgh.
It's been beautiful here the last 2 days. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And pristine weather. And I was sweating. I had to go out and I worked. Finally got the pond all straightened out. Had one leak in the pump system. It took me 20 minutes of tightening and moving and adjusting and then tightening and moving. And finally I said, screw it, went inside for a little bit, cooled off, went back out there and it quit leaking. So I don't know what the heck happened.
I need to clean my pond filter, but it poured down rain here the other day when I was going to clean the pond filter. So I ain't doing it in the rain. Do it another day.
Yeah. I was going to say, Greg, if you get a small leak in your plumbing, they do make the pens now.
Yes.
So.
Yes, they do. Fat Boys Gaming and no nonsense. I sat and watched him last night blow that game away. And I think you had, it was great. Great gameplay, man. Great gameplay.
It was. Tell you one other thing. It's been hot. It's ridiculous here for May. Now, my outside thermometer that's attached to this was saying 107, but I don't think it's that hot. I think it gets in the sun in the late afternoon. But yesterday it was 97 here, and today was supposed to be 99. I don't know what it topped out to for real. And the air conditioning at the hotel on the first, luckily it's on the first floor of the side that has the kitchen and laundry and all that. So it's not on the side where the guests are trying to sleep and stuff. But the air conditioner on that half of the first floor doesn't work at all. So I'm sitting there with a fan blowing on me all day. Yesterday morning, Kelly looked at she has a thermometer in the kitchen. It was 91 degrees in the kitchen at 7 a.m. But yeah, so wow. First thing I do, and I relieved the overnight guy at 5 this morning. First thing I did was open the front doors, flip the switch so they stayed open, and open the back door so we get a little bit of cool breeze because we are in the desert, so it still gets cool at night. It'll be 95, 100 degrees and still get down in the mid to low 50s. So you can open the windows and cool off, but man, about midday when it starts getting up at close to 90 outside, you don't want that hot air blowing through when you don't have air conditioning. So yeah, it's Fat Boy Gaming said he heard we all don't care who wins as long as it's not Mike. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike said last night, I think on the Discord, that he'd played his last time. He had too much other stuff going on, so he wasn't going to try it again. So you knew that his score was the score to beat, and it got beat. But
Yeah, yeah. That was a heck of a game. Mike had a heck of a game compared to the rest of it. Well, what am I saying? Well, here, I guess I could throw it up here since we're talking about it. Streets of Rage 2. Look at Salty Army up there. 432, 800.
And I watched him do it. That was wild.
Mike, if it weren't for Salty Army, Mike would have whooped us all. So you saved the day. Mike with his 348, 710. Poe had a great game too there. A comeback game late. You played that yesterday, right?
The other day, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Day before, maybe. Yeah, because we were gone all day yesterday.
Oh, okay. Derek had a good score. He played a game late also. Live wire. Greg, you had a great game. Chaos. And then I'm holding up the bottom there. Which, when I played that 175 game, it wasn't a bad score. But then everybody shoved me down to the bottom.
When I got that 188, I was shooting at your 174, and it's kind of like once I saw that I went past 175, 460, I started relaxing. I think if I hadn't known your score, I might have been able to do a little bit better. But, once I said, well, I got him, and I thought, okay, I can relax a little bit. And, of course, I got whack. I was done.
Cannabis, we played in normal mode, 3 lives. Oh, yeah. No continues. That's what, if you're ever in question, that's our generic, that's what we shoot for. We just do a normal mode, 3 lives, no continues, just, whatever the default setting is, that's where we like to go. And not easy, not hard.
Keep it easy, keep it the same for everybody, and we keep it the same throughout. It's kind of the same way. I don't know. I think in the beginning I didn't do it. But the same thing we were just talking before we went on about the pinball. I usually set up the tournaments always in classic mode. And on FX3, I haven't even begun to understand all the FX yet. But I don't know if they have a wizard mode or not. I think they do have some things you can do. But I know I used to allow them. And then I quit doing it because I realized there were a lot of people who played more than others and were able to achieve those modes.
Right. And it's like a double whammy because they played it enough to get those higher modes, which means they built up the skill set too because they played it a lot. Right. And then you got other people that may have only played the game a couple times. They don't have any level ups and they're not good at it to begin with because they've only played it a couple times. Right. So suddenly you get scores where someone scores 10,000 and someone scores 10 million and you're like, well, that's not fair anymore. Yeah. So yeah, I like the normal mode and classic mode in pinball. Keep it even. No fancy level of power-ups and all that. Just play the game.
And like we said before, it's all for fun. You're not investing anything in it. You're not getting anything in return other than. And what kind of pride is there in winning? I mean, it would be no fun to me to beat Bart's score if I knew that I used some type of cheat feature. I mean, you want to do it. So
I think it's fun. Cheat against Bart.
Well, that's Mike. Yeah, that's true. Mike's okay to cheat against, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just an honest guy.
I'd never cheat against Shupo.
Yeah. I could cheat trying to beat Mike, and I'd still be lucky to get half a score.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what we do. It's always just the kind of normal mode, normal lives.
This has been a heck of a week for me, and I'll tell you what I ended up doing. I got the games all on Steam. On Epic. And a matter of fact, I got them when I first got up in the morning. I got them on the Switch. They were available. But then we had somewhere we had to be in town, so we left, and we were finally sitting at a place having a little mid-afternoon snack. And I told Cheryl, I said, you know what? I can get on Epic, which is what I use FX for, and I can buy those on my phone. and I left that pin cabinet on. They'll be there when I get home, and sure enough, they were. So I got those. But then I got the other machine on, which I use for FX3 with Steam, and I thought, why don't I go ahead and download the soccer, the football or whatever, download that game on Steam as well, because it's free. Then I got that both on Steam and on FX.
Nice. I finally bought the rest of the tables for FX3 because all I had left in there was Jurassic Park and Portal was on sale for the Switch. Like, I think it was 50% off or something like that. Yeah. So I bought it, and I'm like, you know what? The only ones I don't have are Jurassic Park, even though I have them on FX or whatever. Might as well buy them and have them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wife sees everything when she's going through the bank account. Like when I bought you and Mike the golf on the MetaQuest or the pinball, pinball. And I bought it for myself, and she's like, "What are these 3 transactions? Why are you paying Facebook?" Because that's how it comes up on the computer for our bank account, like Facebook. I'm like, I had to think about it for a minute. I'm not.
And I want to thank you
again for anything.
I want to thank you again for those pinball tables, and I feel like crap because you want to know the truth? I got this raw galley. I got all this other stuff I've been working in here. And the other day I walked by my MetaQuest hanging on the wall, and I said, man, I got to fire that thing up and get those games. And plus, every time I get it out, I leave it set for so long. It says, got to update this, got to update that, got to update this. So I at least charged it up. It's ready to go. I'll put it on my head and.
I'm just as bad. I bought those Vader games last year and never played those. I bought Bart and myself that scary game or whatever back in October. I've never played that yet, and now I put the pinball on there and haven't touched it yet. So.
Right. Well, I'm telling you, folks, next time you do something like that, or if she asks you again about those 3 charges, just find one of those Facebook scam chick pictures and say, well, this chick friended me, asked me for money, so I sent her money. And then when she blows up about that, I said, just kidding, I bought the guy some pinball tables. And she'll be like, oh, good, okay, phew.
Yeah, well, once she found out what it was, she didn't care. But when it said Facebook, that just seemed kind of sus, She's like, oh, fraud or something going on here, Yeah, that's it, fraud.
Once you told her that you got Mike and Greg some ping pong, then she was okay. Yeah. Cannabis Kid had said, I put it up there. Dave and Buster's is going to allow people to gamble on games for money.
That was on the news. That was on the local news here the other day. They're talking about, now who knows if they'll get it passed, but Missouri right now is working on sports betting. Kansas, you can. You can buy weed in Missouri and you can sports bet in Kansas, but not vice versa. So they're crossing the state line to do each one. Anyway, now they're talking about Dave and Buster's wants to cash in, and supposedly there'll be some way that I'm standing next to you guys playing whatever these modern pin games. I don't know what they got, but be like saying, okay, I'm going to bet that Poe can get a certain score on Galaga, and you can place your bet in the machine and collect on it or something. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't know how they're going to regulate it and track it and everything, but whatever. I don't particularly, I'm too cheap to gamble.
Yeah.
I go to Vegas, I'm like $20. That's my gambling fee, my gambling money. I'll get a roll of quarters and a $10 bill. And I'll usually just walk up to like the roulette table and throw $10 down on red and lose it on the first spin. And then I go play some slot machine quarters. That's kind of my gambling. I'm just too cheap. I don't have money to burn.
Okay.
Yeah, Dave and Buster's is way loud to get in there.
Yeah, the only thing is when Cheryl and I were in Nashville and we were going to the Grand Ole Opry, they moved it from downtown at the Ryman Theater to another theater. It's out kind of a little bit outside of town. It's not downtown. There's a big shopping place. We got there early. We Ubered up there. We just didn't know where we were going, and we just wanted to trip back to our hotel easy. But we got there, and across the street was a big Dave and Buster's, and we hadn't eaten. And I'll tell you what, I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised at how good the food was. I went over to the gaming side of it and didn't recognize a single game there. You know, I mean, they're just all, these big modernistic.
Yeah.
Well, Farrell asked about Mike, and Farrell, we told Mike last week if he didn't come in first in this week's Streets of Rage, then he was off the show. And, yeah, Salty Army we didn't kick him off the show. Salty Army did. So, Mike went to a big air show today with the family. So he had a great time at that. And he may make it. He might make it. I think he's on his way home. But if they stop for dinner, I think it's a done deal, and he won't make it. But if they come straight home, we might see Mike before it's over. Chaos is playing Spider-Man pinball, and the Green Goblin laugh sounds just like Poe. Old Poe or regular Poe? That's the question.
Love the Green Goblin.
2 weeks in a row, yeah. We have a strict rule too. If he misses another 50 weeks in a row, we won't let him on for the whole year.
Yeah. I'm really happy that I actually picked a game. I just pulled that one kind of out of my butt, at the last minute. And I have played that game before. I thought, I'm going to pick, if they give me an offer to pick, I'm going to pick something that I can play. But I was really pleasantly surprised how well it caught on. I think we had a fairly good turnout for that. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many are on your list there, Bart? I didn't really count how many.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Yeah, there were 8 that played.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.
Yeah, it's funny because I was seeing up here these Fat Boy Gaming, which is Salty Army for people that don't. He's only played Streets of Rage 2-3 million times by the time he hit 16. That game that I played, that I got that 175,000. I'm pretty sure that's the only game I've ever played of that in my life. I'd never played it before, and I played that one. And not that I don't like it. It was fun. It's just I'm not really I don't play those a lot. Those, what are they, beat 'em up games or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't play them much. I'm more of the the old school Donkey Kongs and stuff like that. Pac-Man 2600, things like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Retro Bliss loves that. I know.
You're gonna bliss them off.
Bliss them off.
Bliss them off.
I've gotten into more diverse type playing. Right now I'm into those. Mike had us play one week. I think it was Ninja Gaiden on the what console was that on? It was the old version. What was that?
NES.
NES, yeah. Well, they've got Ninja Gaiden now on the Xbox anyway. I mean, they probably got it for the PlayStation too. I got that 3 months of that Xbox Pass for free when I bought that handheld device. And anyway, I've been enjoying that Ninja Gaiden. I downloaded them for free because I got that Xbox thing, and it's been a blast playing those games. And I never touched those kind of games before, but man, I'll tell you what, on a 75-inch big screen with that high definition, I don't think it's 4K though. I think it's still 1080, but 1080 is good.
All right, let me do this. All right, just while you were talking, not like I was ignoring you or anything.
No,
but I figured since Mike didn't show up again, he's ditching and all, and Mike's Gaming Gala showed up in the thing. I just sent him an invite link to the show. If you
nice.
So,
well, we did start the new homebrew chat since he joined our Discord the other day.
That's how I found him real quick. I went to that.
Yeah, he's love homebrew, so I'm glad Derek went ahead and put that on there for us.
Yeah.
Is Derek here? Is Derek even here?
I haven't seen him. I think he's got something going on again. He seems like he's been busy for the last couple of weeks. I don't know what's going on.
He's going to get fired. He does all that work, but he doesn't show up. I don't know if we're going to appreciate him or not. I don't know. We're going to think about it.
All right. Well, we were close. Mike's Gaming Gala says he's just about to have dinner, maybe after if you're still on.
So we'll be on about 5 hours. So
Yeah.
bring your dinner.
I'll be on till 7:30. I made a promise, but that's an hour and a half. That's good for me.
Yeah. We're
Well, do we want to talk? You know, again, I talked about what a great week it was. Buying the pinball, buying the Nebraska for the game. That's where I was left off at. I bought the stuff from Epic. I bought some stuff from. Got the free ones from Steam, and then I got the Nebraska, and was pleasantly surprised because you texted me saying if I'm up in Wyoming, I need to get down toward Nebraska. But I forgot when they update and give you a new DLC, they let you pick. They let you just instant travel somewhere. So I went up to Omaha, and I was pleasantly surprised that it loaded up good and looked really good. I like Nebraska so far.
Yeah, I had trouble with Nebraska with the first time I tried to play it, and I'm still not sure what was causing the problems. I did hear someone say, I read someone had said that if you're using one of the trailers that you own, the 1.50 update was causing problems, and I was when I did the update to 1.50. I was using my OGA trailer, and I ditched that, and it seems like that may have solved my problems. And I had a problem with a mod. If you watch that video, the first time I drove into Nebraska, as soon as I hit Nebraska, the speed limit signs would say in miles per hour, but on my, I would get an alert that I was speeding because the simulation switched to kilometers.
Ooh.
So instead of 60, it was like 43 kilometers an hour or something, and the AI traffic would drive that speed limit. So I was passing people because they're driving slow, and it was just not a good experience. But that was the accurate gas prices mod that I had on was causing that.
No.
The only problem I've had is, and I don't think it's with the game. I think it's with my these dashboard things. They just wouldn't load. And before I just turn it on, they'd recognize it and they'd load. And so I got to reading it said re-download this app and put it on your computer, which I don't remember doing that the first time, but maybe I did. But so I downloaded it, and it wouldn't say install. It said repair. So it gave you an option. I hit repair, and everything worked. Well, I fired it up the next time. It wasn't working. Had to stop everything, open that file up, and the same thing. It says repair. It repaired it. So it's one little extra thing I got to do each time, but at least they still work.
Yeah. That's for which one? Is that for your Sim dashboard, or is that for the
Sim dashboard? Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't say that. Yeah, Sim dashboard. It's the two tablets that I got set up, which I've gotten kind of used to because they give you all the stats right up here, up close and personal. But also, it tells you how much real time is left in the game. So, it says on the game time, you got 12 hours out. Well, Cheryl will say, we're going to eat in 15 minutes. I can look and say, I'm going to wrap this up in 10 minutes. I'll be done.
Yeah. See, I didn't have any problem with Sim Dashboard. Mine connected. I wonder if you do need to just try uninstalling it and reinstalling it instead of just doing the repair. That may that's one of the few things I didn't have a problem with.
So was that I did that so long ago. Is that actually an app on your computer, not on your phones, not on your tablets, but there's actually a program that went on your? Because I don't ever remember even starting it up. It's like it auto started.
Oh, really? Because I always have to launch mine. Let me see.
What's it called? What's the app called?
That's what I run, the Sim Dashboard server.
But I'm looking right now at I'm hitting my apps button or whatever, and I do not see that. I still don't see that app up there. I just saved the executable and put somewhere. What was it is it start with SIM or is there some other weird title to it?
Let me see. Let me look at the properties. Yeah, SIM dashboard server. SIM dashboard server, all one word.
That is so weird. I don't even see that app listed here.
And on my computer, it installed on C program files x86, which was the default. I just left it installed on the default. I can't get the thing to work with the flight sim because I have a sim dashboard for that I would like to use, and I can't get it to work. But
yeah, I hate to think that I'd have to re-download some. I don't even know. I hope I saved the username and password because I actually paid for the paid version of that sim dashboard.
Yeah, I think if you buy the thing that you put on your computer is free. It's when you pay for it, you're paying for the app on the tablet and stuff.
Oh, okay. So I got you.
That shouldn't matter, but yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I didn't have any trouble at all with the sim dashboard. I'd hate to think these people that run hundreds of mods, because I only run about 10 mods, and 6 of them I had to take off because they were causing errors.
Right.
But they'll end up redoing them and patching the mods.
Well, now I can't even find that sim dashboard thing that I've been clicking, so I'm going to give up on this subject because I don't even know what I'm talking about, obviously. Well, it's just like another little problem I had this week, too, is I accidentally hit the button when it said, when OBS opened up, would you like to update?
Oh, yeah. OBS. OB mess sometimes.
Yeah, well, the last time I did that, it lost all my cameras. It said you didn't have the right drivers and stuff. I went back to an old version. I saved an old executable. But this time, it just changed the formatting of everything. I mean, trying to bring up my capture card just wouldn't bring it up.
Huh.
So I rebooted the computer. If in doubt, reboot. I rebooted the computer twice and it started working. Yeah, I don't know why.
There you go. There you go. So Poe, I finally installed on my laptop the whatever you want to call it, the application, I guess, to remove games from the iArcade.
Yeah, I didn't even do that yet, but I saw it and I was pretty happy about that.
We're so late getting it. If you didn't get it yet, because now he's actually released a version that has a graphic interface. Because it used to be you'd have to type in some commands and tell it which you'd have to ask for a list of games and then tell it which one. Apparently now it's all just point and click.
That's good for me.
I didn't try it yet, but I did download it.
Well, there's definitely one I need to get rid of because it needed all the sound samples for the music, sound effects, and everything. It was an old arcade game I put on there, and I was never able to figure out how to push the samples. So, why have it on there,
Right.
So that's great.
Yeah, and for me, it's like it makes it to where if we do one of these arcade challenges and it's a game that I don't have, but it's available on the arcade, and it's something I don't think I'll ever play again, I can be like, hey, I'll throw it on there for the challenge. And so I'm playing it on an arcade game instead of, I can play it on the emulation, but then I'm using an Xbox controller or the little Wiener controller you got me, and it's not the same as standing at a cabinet. So
yeah, I thought about that.
Cluttering it up.
For a while there, everything on the PAX Discord was console games. They were just throwing up 5 billion console games. So there was really nothing for me there for a long time. I'd go back and check every other day. Did anybody get a cool old? I requested a couple, and it was like, nobody wants to hear that crap. They want to play PlayStation 1, so I'm like, whatever, I'm out of there. But Blue Shark that helped me with stuff and had me test some stuff before, he's back again. The other guy that was doing all the
or the games for the consoles, which was cool if that's what you want. But he's taking a break. I saw when I was gone yesterday that Blue Shark is working on. It sounds like every single Atari 2600 game that you can put on there in one package. And he wanted me to test that for him. And I didn't get to answer him back. He sent that message while we were out yesterday. Probably something, yeah, I would test it for him, but I don't think I would keep it on the arcade. So now that we can delete it.
I think he posted it because
did he?
I hadn't been on that PAX Rut site in probably a month. And then I got a Facebook notification that, what's his honky calling or whatever? He posted on the Facebook group saying, hey, I never said in here, but I have that application working so you can remove programs. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I went, that's the first time in probably a month because of that same exact thing. It's all consoles. You can't find any arcade games.
Yeah.
Really. And I think the first one I saw when I opened it was that it's every Atari game pack. And I'm like, well, things haven't changed.
They did one a month or two ago that was every NES game. And now they're trying to do the every Atari game. And at first thinking about, okay, I wonder how they're doing this. He wanted me to test it. So I'm guessing maybe he put paddles in for the spinners, for configuration, because he doesn't have the GRS deck. That's why he would have me test things for trackball and spinners. So maybe he did that. That would be kind of cool. But at the same time, I don't necessarily want to be standing there playing Atari games when I got 500 other ways to play them.
Right. Hey, looky here. Your average gamer.
Hey.
He says, got your AARP membership there, Grandpa.
Yeah, I bet he does. I bet he does. Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a while. So anyway, I haven't tested it yet, but I did download it. So I do need to test it because I have a couple games that have two versions on it, and I had to favorite it so I'd know which one is the right one. So, and some of those ones that I put on that didn't have the fancy description buttons, what the buttons do and stuff, I got to move that back over. I keep drifting off the screen. I was trying to hide my ugly lamp. That's why I had my screen pushed so far. But, so when I test it, I'll let you know. But hopefully it's pretty much just run it and go. But I had the same luck you did with pushing sound samples, so now I'm nervous. It's really easy. You just do it the same as you do the other stuff, and none of it worked.
Yeah, it didn't work for me either. I tried it a few times. He had a YouTube video on the whole thing, and I followed that, and it still didn't work for me. So
it didn't do anything for me. But
I've been looking around the office here. Just to interrupt real quick. I guess I left my wallet upstairs. I was going to make sure I presented my AARP card so your average gamer can see that I'm still a charter member.
Nice. Well, since we're talking about, we already talked about this last week's challenge. Now we're talking about arcade games. We can talk about this week's arcade game challenge. Last week was a console challenge. This week is an arcade challenge. Greg, are you pulling that up or you want me to pull it up?
I've got it. I've got my finger sitting right on the button. I can hit it whenever you say go, sir.
All right. So, with that, I don't think we need any further ado. Go ahead and run it.
Okay.
All right. Hello. And welcome to this week's arcade challenge for the show. As you can see, we're doing some kangaroo. I suck at this dang game. I'll tell you that straight up front. And it's really hot out here. It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Texas time, and according to that, it says it's 104 degrees outside. I don't think it's that hot. I think that sensor could be hitting in the sun. I don't know. But it also says the temperature in here is just high, which means it's over 100 degrees. So, all right, let's put a coin in, and let's see how this goes. know if this is supposed to be 4-way or 8-way. Oh, that should. I think it's supposed to be 8-way, so you can do that. That jerk! I couldn't reach him. I'm telling you, I suck at this game. Have a seat. Okay, I'm just gonna go up here. I know you can ring the bell and then get other stuff, but I gotta get some score going on here. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah! What? How did I fall? I fell to my death. Oh no. 3,800. That's junk. Alright, well, that's where it's going to end because I don't want this video to go too long. Nah, screw that. Screw that. I just learned how to play. Okay. Okay, look at this. We're like on a roll here. Oh, look at there. Look at there. Like a pro. Like a pro. Oh, run away from him. No, fell to my death. I thought that was the easy jump. Guess I should have rang that bell while I was up there. Oh, he's gonna throw a thing at me. Oh, looky here. Looky here. Actually getting on the board. Am I just supposed to do this? Okay, go. Come on. Oh, man. Ah! Okay, I see. I see. They come back. I gotta get that thing lower. Come on over here so I can dump your melon. Can I get up there? Can I get up there? I fell to my death. Alright, there you go. 8,100 points. That's my score. Let's go up. OGA, 8,100. Back to the show. Stop.
Good play.
Nice.
Good play.
I'd never seen that third screen before, so That's that was my first time making it there.
8,000. My highest score was 800.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a fun little game. I played it, from time to time and over the years, and I've never really been good at it, but I have fun at it. But I usually just play those first two screens. And I know you can go up and ring the bell and it puts more fruit, and then you can go back down and get all that other fruit, and I guess that's a way to run up your score a lot better. But I'm one of those, I always try to get farther, but I guess for these challenges we should try to get more points maybe. But I don't know.
What was that? Donkey Kong 3? Was that one of the ones we played where I found you could try to get through it or you could try to get points? There were different angles at which you'd attack that game.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I've always been, even when I used to play Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man and stuff back in the day, it was always to try to get through the maze. I never even cared about getting the power pellets and get all the ghosties right there so you can eat them all. It was just I'd use the power pellet as a free pass to get through the maze.
Right.
And then we started doing these challenges. It's like, well, maybe the points do matter.
Yeah, Kangaroo, well, I was telling you guys, that's one that I played the hell out of, the 2600. My brother had that, but not so much the arcade version. I have it for the 5200. Haven't played it much on there just because of the controller for the 5200 kind of blows for that game. So,
yeah, it's funny because when I started, I don't know why I assumed it was a 4-way joystick, and I guess because you run across and go up the ladder. So I was thinking Donkey Kong, 4-way joystick. And I'm like, wait, I can't jump at angles. What's going on here? So luckily that Glenn's deck, one button press away, and I was in 8-way mode.
yeah, that up to jump sucks no matter what game it is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Give us a
Yes,
button.
I'm not a fan of pushing up to jump.
Yeah.
Buttons are much better. But yeah, that first game I started pretty rough. I get up to that second level and just got killed right away. Like, I'm trying to punch the monkey and he's too far away.
Punch the monkey.
Punch the monkey.
Yeah, looks like fun.
Yeah. So anyway, play your arcade version of Kangaroo, and like always, it'll be end at midnight Saturday night, Mike CB time, Pacific time. So yeah, let's see. Chaos is throwing out tips. If you ring the bell and go get 2 different types of fruits, that big ass monkey pops out at the bottom on the first level. Yeah, that big monkey scared me. That dang
Punch the monkey.
Just get BD Retro Mods to make you a 5200.
All right.
But, all right, so there we go. Arcade challenge, Kangaroo. Play it or be a loser. Your choice.
Or go punch the monkey.
Go punch the monkey. But
Poe's never punched a monkey. I think he spanked one a couple times.
It was hard to do that at my house because we only had one bathroom. You didn't have the privacy to punch the monkey. What are you doing? Punching the monkey?
yeah.
Well, while we digress, here at the show we've been doing these challenges, 1 week arcade, 1 week console. Been a lot of fun. I took a couple weeks off from doing our pinball, and we're still in the works of talking about another seasonal tournament, a summer tournament. But right now we're just doing week-long ones. And in lieu of the fact that FX released 4 games this week, 5, 4?
5.
Counting the soccer one. Yeah.
Right. And one of the big problems we've entailed in using FX Pinball is the fact that there's a lot of Switch users, PlayStation users, Xbox users, PC users, cabinet users, and for some reason they decided to segregate Pinball FX from the Switch and from what I call all others. So you can't participate in a pinball tournament. So in lieu of those coming out, we decided to do a FX Pinball Challenge, and Bart is doing the other Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Steam, and I took care of doing the Switch one. And what will happen is we will keep track of those scores. Bart and I will communicate back and forth. Well, of course, we'll be able to see each other's scores, and we will meld the two of those together. And so you can play on whatever you like. And it's going to be, Bart, you want to tell them what it's going to be?
Well, if they watched at the beginning, they would know already because you're a big.
Yeah. Yeah.
But well, I don't know. Do you want to tell them, or you made a video, right?
Yeah. I guess what am I doing here? Okay, let's roll that video. It's a short one here. Let's get
roll the video.
Okay, everybody, it's pinball tournament time here on the show. And we've decided to do something a little different. We're going to play Pinball FX. But the only problem with Pinball FX is you cannot play or combine the Switch with all the other platforms in a tournament. The Xbox, the PlayStation, the PCs, the gaming cabinets, Steam, Epic, whatever. So they decided to segregate those. So we're going to meld them together. I am setting up the one on the Switch. It's going to be Classic Play of the Knight Rider. 5 days, unlimited players. Again, Classic Play. And it's a private tournament. Password is G Parker, G-P-A-R-K-E-R, all lowercase. And the code for this tournament on the Switch is 1Y8Q. That's 1 Yankee 8 Quebec. Okay, Mr. Postal, I hope I got the phonetics right. Anyway, here we go. And Bart is going to discuss tonight on the show what his code number and the code is for his and the password for the one for everybody else. But I've been assigned to do the Switch one. So here we go. Let's play Knight Rider. Okay, we got to enter the password. G. Let's go up here and hit show. I love the fact that they offer that now. P. Like it's a big secret, right? A. R. K. E. R. Hit play. And here we go. Knight Rider. Brand new table. Pinball FX. Available on all your devices. But you just can't tournament them together. So Bart and I are going to keep track of the scores. And
Knight Rider. A shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist.
Name's Michael Knight.
Boy, I got that volume.
How much longer will we be staying here? That's a real good question.
Hit a drop target. Okay, I remember doing this. I think I can do this.
Wonderful.
Got it. Finally got that timing down for that skill shot. That's a million right off the bat.
May I suggest you activate auto cruise mode for safety's sake?
No.
Wait a minute, I got an idea. Shall I call Devin?
Oh, no. But there you go. If you want to see how I did get in the tournament, also be sure to check out the Discord. We'll be posting updates regularly on how that scoring goes. Back to the show, everybody.
How much longer will we be staying here?
How much longer will we be staying here?
Yeah, I hate that. It says that every time because you're waiting for the timing, I guess. How much longer are you? Till I'm ready. Yeah. So
Yeah,
right.
actually, I don't want to give away too much, but I actually, when I finished that up, I actually got the skill shot on all 3 shots.
Wow.
It's so similar, and Bart, you'll remember when you were here. It's so similar to the skill shot on the Stranger Things real pinball machine. Remember that light flashes across those drop targets, and if you can hit that drop target that's lit up on your launch, that's the skill shot. And I said, "Wow, this looks so familiar." And I just figured it's a matter of timing.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so Greg did that. Now that's on the Switch. So if you guys are playing on the Switch, that's the code you're going to use. And I did set up my tournament, and I'll go ahead and type it in here, and I'll say it too, though.
Wait a second, real quick, Toad. You got some bats in your belfry, or what's going on there?
Birdies are singing. They're happy. I have to have the door open. Friggin' 90 degrees here. I'm in the garage, so.
Well, they're calming.
Okay, so if you're playing on Steam or Epic or PlayStation or Xbox, you'll want to look for 33LE. So 33 Lima Echo. And then the password is just OGA, as in Off Grid Arcade, OGA, all lowercase. So I guess, yeah, we'll put in the Discord, both of them. So if you're in the Discord, go into the pinball tourney, and let's see. This is Knight Rider. Knight Rider.
Butt Rider.
33 Lima Echo. Password OGA. And I didn't write yours down. What was yours? Do you remember what yours are? Do you have it written down?
No, I don't.
Can we play in both, and will it count if we play in both?
Yes, you can play in both, and we will count whichever score is lowest.
Nice. Thought I figured I'd ask the question before somebody else does.
Right. Yeah, no, we prefer that you play in one or the other. I don't know, or do we care?
I believe in getting as much participation as possible. Now, I'd hate to put us through extra work, but it seems to me that you make a list, I'm going to make a list, and we'll compile them. I'll keep track of mine, keep track of yours. We'll put them on Discord and kind of adjust them accordingly. But I don't really care if somebody plays on both. I only say that because I probably would do that.
Right. Yeah. If it was the big tournament, the 10-weeker, then we would say no. You got to pick one and go with it. But yeah, I don't care either. But probably what I was thinking, Greg, is I don't want to commit to doing it every day, but I will try every day. Sometime in the evening time, I will grab screenshots of both the Switch and the one on the Steam, and then I'll grab a screenshot and post them in the Discord. So there'll be like a daily update. Everyone can see everybody's scores, and then periodically I'll put them all on a spreadsheet like we've been doing, so it's all mixed together, and you don't have to bounce back and forth. But I will post screenshots of both, just in case someone wants to say, well, how do we know that somebody played at the Switch and got that score? I don't own the Switch. Well, I'll post it so they can see the.
But I don't see any necessary in you having to meld the. I don't see any sense in you having to meld the scores and do a spreadsheet every day. I mean, that's a lot of work.
That I won't do every day. Just periodically. If there's a lot of changes or if it gets confusing, then maybe. But it's helpful anyway if I take it on Steam, because if somebody plays on Xbox, they won't see the PlayStation people's scores. So that way you can see the updated who all got what on the Steam version. And obviously they're not going to see any of the Switch people. So that way, if I post screenshots of both, and obviously if nobody plays either one on Wednesday, I'm not going to repost anything. Obviously, it'll only be if there's changes. But I'm going to try to post the screenshots.
I swore to you guys in our chat that I wasn't double dipping, and then 5 seconds later I double dipped. So I do have it on both.
Yeah. I always end up double dipping because.
Well, and it makes sense for you because you play on the table. Or if you want to play handheld, but then Kelly can play. And for me, it's just kind of me here. So.
Right. Yeah. I play a lot. Most of the time, if I'm playing on the Switch, it's because we're traveling somewhere and I have it with me. Because I play on the table a lot more often than I play on the Switch. But it's nice to have it. Sometimes I'm just sitting in the house and I'm bored. Maybe Kelly's watching a movie or something. So I'll be like, yeah, I'll just pull out the Switch and play some pinball. So anyway, yeah, so Knight Rider. We set it up for 5 days, right, Greg?
Yes.
5-day tournaments, and I set mine up at like 5 o'clock this evening Central Time because I had to work today and all that. So I don't know. So that'll be what, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Does it end on Thursday or Friday? I guess Friday would end.
I think, see, you count Monday is day one, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, Friday it ends.
So,
but I did mine a little earlier, so if you play, don't think you can. Bart's will probably end around 5 o'clock. Mine's going to end around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon because that's when I started it. So, you're going to have that. That's your responsibility. It says right on the game how many hours are left.
That's what I was going to say. A little pro tip for you: just pull up the tournament and it'll tell you how much time is left. So take a peek at it, and if you're playing on Friday and it says 2 hours to go, don't wait 3 hours to play it.
Right.
But yeah, so we'll play us Knight Rider this week, and I did set mine up on Steam using classic mode also, so there's no upgrades that you can use, and I chose the option for realistic physics because I didn't even know that was an option that they added. So I said, well, screw it, let's try it, let's see what happens. So. If you're playing in the tournament and you say, man, this is playing way different than I remember playing it. I just played yesterday. Maybe that's why. So I didn't know they changed that. I mean, I think I heard that they were going to do that, but I forgot. So, but I liked it better on the realistic. At least I played better. If you watched my video, that's my spoiler. If you watched my video that I did on Friday of me playing Knight Rider, I did better than that in my game I played for the tournament. But I got 5 million something on that game. So did I get 6 million? Did I get 60 million? Did I get 60 billion like freaking Crow Continuum got on his game? No, he got like 22 billion. But no, you'll have to play to see what I got. But I did beat my 5 million on that.
On FX2, I got a question for you. Is it true? I heard that they are doing away with the pinball pass.
They are. They are doing away with the pinball pass. Hey, Evil Chad, thanks for stopping in. And it's weird because you can still buy into it, which I don't know why you would want to, but I think it's at the end of the year is when it's officially going to go away. And it's the same deal with those tokens or whatever you can buy with real money, and then you use those to buy bling or whatever you want to call it in game. Those are going to go away also this year at some point. So, yeah, if you have any of those tokens to spend them, because when they turn it off, they're gone. So, if you wanted to get a new rug for your room or something, spend those tokens because they're just going to go away. This thing fly.
That pinball pass just, everything now is a subscription service. Like I said, I got the Xbox subscription service, which I admit I do like. I'm kind of enjoying that. But, then they wanted to cash in on this subscription thing to play all their table. But, the biggest thing that irked my butt about that pinball pass is it wasn't for every table.
Right.
I think Indiana Jones wasn't included. I think the Addams Family wasn't included. if I'm going to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet, don't tell me I can't have crackers.
Right. Yeah. And then the other thing was they were saying that it was going to be cross-platform if you got it. So you'd buy it on, and then you could play those games, and that went away. And yeah, so a lot of things that they had planned for that pinball pass just didn't pan out. So
and with this being said, I sent an email to Zen Studios, and I did get a reply back from Lars because I sent it daytime here, it's nighttime over there, and the janitor wrote me back again, Lars, who was. I did an interview with Lars a year or so ago, and he's agreed to come back on the show, or come back and do an interview. That we'll probably tape it and play it on the show. So I've got to get back with him, and hopefully we can get his assistant. What's that guy's name? Jules, his assistant. So we're gonna
Uh-oh, we got breaking news. Breaking news. First time ever live on the show Sunday night. We have a whole new mic.
It's a new mic.
A whole new mic.
He looks taller.
I figured since the respectable mic isn't here, I could join the degenerates and and be a part of the fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
How you doing?
I'm good. It was funny. So I was eating dinner, and so my boys are with their mom, and my stepdaughter's with their dad, and so it's just the wife and I tonight. And I was like, oh, I think maybe after dinner I might hop onto with these guys for a bit. And she was like, I was like, do you mind? She's like, well, I have to do the dishes, I have to do the laundry, I got to finish sweeping the floor, I got to do this. I'm like, okay, so you don't mind? You're busy.
Sounds like you got the good green light there. That sounds good.
Chaos.
Yeah,
I did. I genuinely did. She does like I do 90% of the cooking. I do all the yard work. So she takes care of the cleaning, and that's her job.
That's cool.
It's kind of the same deal at our house. I do 90% of the eating, and but,
I do that too.
Yeah. So
Some friends
this
of mine.
is. Did she give you the same warnings that Bliss's wife, when he said he was coming on, she was concerned for his safety coming on with this motley crew?
No. You see, my soul is already destined for the dark place, so I'm good. I might be getting brownie points for coming on here.
Nice. Yeah.
You were talking about yard work. It's funny. Some friends of mine were over the other day, and they said, "Wow, your yard looks good. You do a great job." I said, "Yep." Every Friday, I go out front and I pay those lawn guys each week.
I can't afford any lawn guys.
Yeah. I can't afford a lawn. I live in the desert. It would cost me too much water.
I have a grass allergy, so desert sounds great to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is our first time. I've seen you, Mike, in our chat. I've seen you on the Bliss channel, but this is the first time actually speaking to you. So nice to meet you through YouTube.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you too as well. I already know Poe.
Right. We're always getting in trouble, and I always tell Mike that I play off of him like I play off of you. If I see you smiling about something stupid that I'm saying, then I got to keep on going. And it's the same with Mike in the chat.
Right. Yeah.
Poe and I are a good combo with that. As much as it can frustrate Phil sometimes, but he loves us both.
Yeah. Hey, Operation Shutdown. See, Mike comes on the show and then Shutdown shows up. He's like,
nice.
I noticed that. I noticed that too. You talk about somebody. I'll see Bart sometimes giggling about something when I'm talking about something. I'm thinking, okay, I must be saying something really stupid.
I see Bart laughing. I know what he's thinking, and then I start laughing too.
But then I look at the chat and I realize that somebody just said something. So then I say something even dumber, and then I realize, no, he's laughing at me.
Now we are laughing at you. So
Never.
Mike, you just joined. Did you just join our Discord, or because I saw you?
So
the homebrew channel.
Derek sent me an invite. Well, he sent me a message on Facebook, and he was like, "Would you want to join the show's Discord?" I noticed, like, I'm not a big Discord guy. But we have our podcast chat that I've been more involved in lately, and I was like, "Sure, I like the show. I like these guys. Throw me on that." It probably won't be PG, unlike Phil's community. So, and it's nice to not be PG sometimes. And then, yeah, he started interviewing. He's like, "What's your favorite homebrew?" I was like, you can't ask me what my favorite homebrew is. It made a homebrew channel. I commented in it first. I said, "I'm king here. Respect my authority." And yeah, haven't really commented much more in there after that.
Right. You came in with a grand entrance, though. That was good.
I know. I said, "Hide your wives," and what's his name? Pixel something was like, "How'd you know I had 4?"
Right. Yeah. Pixel Derek.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pixel Derek.
Derek Torium. I don't know what it is. But
I can say this. I can say this because he's not here watching. You know, if he was here watching, I wouldn't say this. But he really has put in a lot of work for us. Not asking for anything in return.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, the bastard only mutes me though. Nobody else on the channel. I get muted.
Yeah.
Just because I say that, you know, he's a bad gamer or something, and he's got to mute me. I'm just telling the truth. Okay?
You know what? That's like when we're on when you're on our podcast on Tuesdays, and Phil will boot me. He'll leave you there. You're just as bad.
Right. He accidentally. I wasn't on live with you guys, but I put a couple crude things, and I'm like, I shouldn't do this, but I'm doing it. And Phil accidentally put them up on the screen, and then he's like,
"Yeah,
I need to learn to read those before I put them up on the screen, Poe."
Or I don't know who was on, who watched our podcast last time, but we had Michael Thomason on, and he's wrote this book, Downright Bizarre Games. And I just randomly was showing pages, and the first page I opened to on that nice PG stream was a Playboy game. It had like the Playboy bunnies and everything on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, Greg's putting up chats that are cuss words on Phil's channel.
Yeah, and probably rub some extra the wrong way because it's spelled Pac-Man wrong.
Spelled Pac-Man wrong.
Yeah.
Pack them and smack them. That's the way you spell it.
Pack 'em and smack 'em, yeah.
I figured you were probably eating dinner, so I didn't make the joke. But after Bart played Kangaroo, I'm thinking Kangarpoon was what I would have put in the chat.
I'm a big guy. It takes a lot to put me off my food.
Yeah, that is one beauty with this show. You're free to say whatever pops in your head. Because
I've got a very dirty and dark sense of humor, but I will admit that, you know, especially on my show too, I tend to be PG. It's just
right.
because like I'll be watching other people, and you know, my 8-year-old will be sitting on the next couch, and if they're swearing and stuff, I can't watch that while she's there. I'll still watch it later, but so I don't want to create a situation where, and especially, you know, I do my goofy intros, and I know Bliss has watched some of them with his granddaughter, and I said "damn" in one. He's like, "Yeah, we had to shut it off." I was like, "Okay," but I try to keep it so that, you know, if there are kids that are going to be around and watching, that's fine. Like when I do swear, I bleep it out on my show, but yeah,
I try, but you know, I do my gameplay and stuff, and sometimes words just they come out when you're playing. I try to yell "cheater." Like Bliss yells "dirty dog," but sometimes other things come out.
right.
Yeah. You don't actually try.
No, I definitely don't edit. So I mean, who's got time for that? Good channels do.
And speaking of which, one of the best things I've ever seen on your channel, and I love your stuff. Watching post content is like just hanging out with your buddy on a Friday night. You couldn't get any girls, so you're just playing some arcade games or video games or whatever. And that's it's like the most wonderful nostalgic feeling. But the funniest thing, and he was playing live on the arcade, and you can hear his wife off camera go, "Hey, It just the feed goes mute for like 2 minutes of his video,
Yeah.
and then he comes back.
I totally forgot that day. We needed to get to the Sherman-Williams paint store, and she mentioned this the day before, and I decided to make a video. I'm downstairs, and she yells down, "Hey, they close in an hour!" And meanwhile, they're like 35 minutes away from us. You know, it's, oh crap. You know, here we go. But she showed up in other ones. When Old Poe was there, she turned the light out on him when he was playing the truck driving the Intellivision.
Okay. Yeah. I remember that. Okay, I remember that.
And another time she came down with a laundry basket, and she's, well, I'm playing the arcade, and she's like, "Why don't you take off that stinky flannel and let me wash that for a change?" You know, like it's a house coat,
shirtless?
not a regular. It never touches my skin. It's a house coat.
Right.
I'm the same with my sweaters. Because they'll go on top of my shirt, and my wife's like, "Why don't you wash that?" And it's like getting ratty at the edges. Like, no.
This was years ago, a long sleeve Realtree, and I'm not really a camo guy, but somebody bought me this Realtree camo long sleeve, but it kept you so warm, and I wore it for 5 billion years, so much that it faded in the wash. There was nothing camo about it. Well, she liked to stop at the Salvation Army store, the thrift store sometimes, and just look through stuff, you know. And she's like, "Why don't you go look in the big, tall, fat, and ugly area and see if there's any shirts you can fit for work?" And I'm going through, and I'm like, "Look at this Realtree kit. Looks like mine." Well, wait a minute. And it was. She actually put it in the box probably a month or so before they washed it or did whatever, and then hung it on the rack there. What the hell? I was ready to buy it back, you know. But
You should have, just to show her. It's like, everything you give away, I'm going to spend good money to get back.
Well, I do tell her that if you do anything to any of my games, I'm going to buy another one, even if I don't like the game, you know. So don't touch my stuff.
What were they getting for the shirt, though? I mean, that to me proves your value. I mean, you know, if they were getting a quarter for the shirt, you know, I'd feel pretty bad. But if they were asking $10 for that shirt, you ought to be proud of it.
If they knew I wore it, they would only get about a nickel, and it would probably go for a dog bed or something.
Poe's trying to be, he's being, you know, humble, but he did say that they had a $10 price tag on his shirt. So he hung a sign on, "Worn by Mr. Postile," and they dropped it to $3. Just that quick.
And then he bought it.
There you go. Using the mind there.
Yeah, see, she liked that laundry day. That's where I thought you were going to go, Mike, when you said one of his funniest, and we were talking about his wife, was that show when his wife comes down and starts doing laundry.
Well, and this is why I do this show out here in the garage where it's 90 degrees. Well, it's down to 82 now. Because if I do it in the house, it doesn't matter. You know, YouTuber means nothing. Things are going to be yelled. Arguments are going to be had between the wife and the daughter and stuff. And like, I really don't want that. I'll come out here.
I just really loved the tone. It was just like, "Hey!"
But, you know, I hear you and Bart both complain. You in your garage, Bart in his game room out there complain about the heat. Now, this fat guy pays a gym membership to go sit in a hot room with a bunch of naked men to sweat.
Sounds like Derek.
That. You guys get to do it for free. So I don't want to hear you.
You're down to 82, Poe? I'm still at 85. That's no fair.
Well, the sun's pretty much down here now on the east. In the east.
My outside is saying 98 now, but now I forget what I was going to say because Greg got to talking about his naked men.
Play the music. Play the music.
Every time I talk about naked men, you forget what you're going to say. There's a problem.
Fever dreams.
No, I know I was going to say when you said about the tone that Mrs. Postile had. That's why I don't remember that episode. I always mute Poe's videos. I don't ever play them with the sound on because it does make it much better. You know, and usually
there's been times I recorded muted. So
yeah, I'll turn Poe's videos on out here in the game room and then go back in the house and then come back out when it's over. That's how I watch.
I leave Poe's audio on when I'm sitting on the throne watching because it seems like it covers up.
It's like prune juice.
Yeah.
Move along.
It's that smooth voice. leads to smooth bowel movements.
That's right. That's right. So, what's your favorite homebrew then? Oh, it's that one. Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, that's
it's so hard to choose. There's so many, and it's true. Like I mentioned in the Discord, and Poe did as well. For most consoles, I would take the homebrew library over the original library every day of the week. For ColecoVision, I definitely would. For Intellivision, I definitely would. 2600, oh, we're close. We're close. Yeah. But and NES, we're close. But there are just so many great games made, and there's a variety of reasons for it. We understand the technology better. We don't have the time constraints that we used to have. Extra memory is cheap. Like an expensive cartridge back in the day would have been 8K, and this has got 32. Just a wide variety of things, and such talent of people making them. And I really can't choose.
And if you're a collector and you've been collecting games, or you're just starting out, look at the homebrew scene first, because I made the mistake years ago when I started collecting again. I'm like, I saw some people posting this homebrew stuff, and I'm like, I want to get the original library first. Well, guess what? You miss that game, you're never going to get it again unless you get that homebrew game off of eBay for $1,000. You know,
in a lot of cases, yes, and that's a shame. That's something I wish didn't happen.
Yeah. So now, I don't have any consoles since.
Check them out, Greg. Check them out.
Yeah.
No. It's okay. It's a vinyl show.
Yeah, it's a vinyl show. I've told the story before. I had an Intellivision I bought with my paper route money back in the early 80s, which was a fortune for a young kid back then. My parents wanted nothing to do with arcade video games, any of that stuff. You're going to do it, you're paying for it yourself. And I had that Intellivision for years, but now I don't have any of those old consoles anymore. The ones I had, once I had kids, the Nintendos and all that, I let them keep them and all that stuff. So there were no homebrews back then, and stuff. So
they're all new brews.
I don't know anything about the homebrew scene and stuff like that. So if you get a homebrew game for, say, a Intellivision, do you play that on an actual Intellivision? It plugs into the Intellivision.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
And they here, I'll grab the box for it. They come in the nice, the full gatefold box, a lot of them. They've got overlays, they've got manuals. They're just as perfect. Actually, I would argue that the packaging now is better than the packaging for the originals. And they look some of them look like Nintendo games.
Wow. Here, let me put you up. I don't know how to do this without doing that, but yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, wow. Like this one here is like a Metroidvania kind of game. It's called Operation Cloudfire, and just really, really nice.
Wow.
Now, at the same time, there is shovelware. There is stuff that isn't very good. I can tell you this one's fantastic. Pretty much everything from Intellivision Collector and Electronite are fantastic. And then the other, I mean, all the publishers have good games, but some of them also have what I would call filler games, which is like just really simple ports. They didn't do much graphic enhancement. They certainly have a place. Every homebrew community has lots of those games.
You might get a game that you never had, like with a 7800. You might get Popeye finally for your 7800 where it wasn't before.
Yeah, and an awesome version of Popeye. We're actually talking to the programmer of that version of Popeye on Tuesday on the Retro Bliss Rewind.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now, how does that? How do they work out money-wise? Are they pretty expensive to get these things, or is it kind of all over the place? I know Poe was saying if you don't get it when it first comes out, try to
a complete inbox of television homebrew, the standard kind of going rate, they can be a little plus or minus, is $70.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they're the price of a new game. In some cases, like I know in Television Collector, he sells the ROMs for all his games. If you've got like an LTO flash or a back bed or something like that, or if you can get JZIMTV working, that's emulator, then you could play them for a heck of a lot cheaper, but not everybody does that.
Right. Well, yeah, I would imagine, people that want to collect them and have a collection, your own want the box and all that stuff.
Yeah, if you really wanted to play E.T. on your Intellivision, you have it right there.
That's one of those shovelware titles that I was talking about.
You got ColecoVision, another driving game for the ColecoVision, which is cool if you have the wheel. Do Run, I love that game. So
I do really like when homebrew games utilize underused accessories like the steering wheel for the Coleco.
Yeah.
And then I have IntelliDiscs for the 5200, which is really cool. I like it. And Satan's Hollow for the 5200. Love the homebrew scene. And I have a ton of games. Some of them I haven't even opened here for homebrews for the Dreamcast. That was John Riggs' game there. Beavis 2. And Xenocider, if you can see it. I still haven't even opened these yet. That's how far behind I am with these. So.
I did my first Dreamcast homebrew review last week, and I really need to find more because it's my only Dreamcast homebrew, and I've always known that there's a pretty big scene there, but I have a decently sized original Dreamcast library, so that's kind of what I play when I'm feeling like Dreamcast. But seeing A, how well that video did, and B, how many there clearly are, because I know Post got a lot of them. I got to get some more of those.
And Dreamcast was one that I never had back in the day. So when I started, I was collecting for everything all at once. I got to have this system, this one. I got the Dreamcast, and I'd marked them down in that Video Games Monthly I used to belong to. But every time they sent me a Dreamcast game, it was this sports game for this year and this sports game. And I'm like, enough of the sports games already, And then I found the homebrew scene and found a lot of cool games that way. So,
okay, for the comment, that is Thor's hammer. That's a Dremel because a lot of the people that display at our event make their own stuff. That is a lightsaber, and that's a sonic screwdriver.
Very cool.
And I just want to point out again, I think we brought this up a couple last week or the week before. Our show is so unscripted and we don't know what's going to happen. Neither of these guys knew that I sent you the link to the show, Mike, until I did it. I didn't know I was going to do it until you popped in the chat. I'm like, hey, he's on the Discord now. Let's do this.
Right.
But somehow, even though this is totally unscripted, we had no idea you were coming. We had no idea that we were going to talk about homebrews. Poe can just magically reach down beside himself, and whatever we're talking about, he pulls up 17 examples.
He sits on his throne of trash.
Yeah,
because these games come in the mail, and I got to hide them in the garage before the wife gets home from work. So they're sitting here. That's why they're here. That's why there's still cellophane on half of them.
You can pick some game that they made 3 copies of in 1974, and Poe will reach down and pull one out from under his seat.
And I'll remember that I bought it and never touched the thing like I did with Chase the Chuck Wagon until Mike mentioned that he picked it up. I'm like, that's right, I do have that down there.
Let me give you an example. We're talking old games. We're talking homebrew games. Let's talk retro toys. Let's talk. Let me think of something. Let's talk Stretch Armstrong. Oh, you got anything going on here? Stretch Armstrong.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay.
Oh, this guy. Look at him. He's got nipples. That's the world's tiniest. And sometimes he plays the world's tiniest Atari 2600 when he's bored. I play dolls out here. I tell the wife I'm working on stuff, and I'll hit a hammer off of something.
Mine just got back from Poe's place. He went up to visit the other Stretch Armstrong.
I have this guy too. I bought this thing like a month ago and still haven't used it, but he's actually a hidden camera that I bought for out here just because there's been people messing around in the alley lately. So I'm like, well, I can set this up. Somebody will probably steal it if they break into the garage, but if they don't, I'll catch them. He got a little camera under that visor.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
You shouldn't. No, never mind. I ain't gonna say that. Nope. Done. Over.
Yeah.
You want to put one in the sauna, don't you, Greg?
So he can get hot and sweaty with the guys even when he isn't at the gym.
There you go. It's funny you make fun of my gym, but that's when I usually am at the gym is when Bliss is doing his live one,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, matter of fact, I always feel
weekday.
bad because I'll announce that I'm there because I just want to let Bliss know that I'm there supporting him. Then people start saying, "Hey, Greg, how you doing?" And I'm on the elliptical, and I'm like, I can't answer right now.
Voice to text.
Yeah. So, Poe, what other questions did you have for Mike while we got him here?
Yeah.
Question. I talk to Mike almost every day too. So like I talk to you guys in chat, I talk to him in the podcast chat over at Bliss's.
Right.
What'd you have for dinner?
Leftover pizza.
Well, they don't have that in Canada. That's an American thing.
Yeah, no. No, it's an Italian thing.
There you go.
How did your day go? Well, you can't say that anymore. When I was a kid, people used to say
Canadians
that.
made it because we first put pineapple on it.
Oh, we don't want to talk about pineapple.
I thought it was Hawaiian pizza.
I don't know why everybody it's not my favorite pizza, but it's not bad. I
It's
remember
not terrible.
it was super popular back in the day, and all of a sudden Gordon Ramsay says it sucks, so everybody on the internet has to be a sheep and be like, "Yeah, we never liked Hawaiian. Hawaiian pizza's fine."
Yeah, I would have thought you guys were the first ones to put Canadian bacon on it, but I thought that the Gaming Road Warrior, he's from Hawaii. I thought they put the pineapple on first.
A gala is like a fancy party. You put on a gala and you wear a tie, which I never wear.
The thing that shocks me about the other Mike, the Gaming Road Warrior, you mentioned he's Hawaiian. He doesn't even play a ukulele. I mean, what kind of Hawaiian is he?
He doesn't wear a grass skirt. He does wear a coconut bra whenever he's FaceTiming me. But.
Okay.
I once worked with a lady who didn't know how many periods were in a hockey game, and I'm pretty sure they revoked her passport.
Earlier you mentioned the Discord not being much of a Discord guy. I got to admit, when Derek started ours, I think that's back when Bart and I were doing our. Was that before we even started this show, Bart? When we were doing just the pinball stuff at 10 o'clock on Sunday nights.
You did that one by carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and I just I didn't catch on to it, but I'll tell you what, the more people we've got on it, and the more that we are, doing our challenges and doing our tournaments and stuff, it's been I've been more active in it. But I just like you, Mike, I never did see. Of course, I used to get on my kids all the time, and now I text these guys all the time. I go, "Why are you texting? Just call them. Jesus, the phone will die. I'll just call."
Yeah.
You're sitting there, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Oh, I don't know. What are you doing?" Couldn't you call him and say that? But,
Yeah, but what if he's on the toilet? Then you hear that echo on the call, and he's in the toilet, but he doesn't tell you.
Until you hear that, until that courtesy flush comes through, and then you go, "Oh my God, were you on the spot when you were?"
Poe will tell you for sure.
I'm on the shitter.
There's
Taking
no
a shit.
mystery.
Want to see? Does this look healthy to you?
He'll switch it to a video call.
He'll text the grunts.
That one came out looking like my first initial. Take a look at it.
Yeah. I was on the phone with Poe one day, and he said, "Breathe, breathe, 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 push. Breathe, breathe."
Oh, let's see. that was early in your guys' career, wasn't that when you were first getting out of adult films? Yeah. Yep, that's true. Yeah, I think we.
That was you two sneaking out of the adult theater, right? That's what he means.
Yeah.
Paul Rubens.
I think the Discord channel started right when we were starting this show again with all four of us.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think that's when it started.
Yeah.
When Derek started stalking us, we said, okay, let's give him a job.
Yeah.
Well, and didn't Derek set up Bliss's Discord as well?
Yeah.
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 Well, Derek
He's,
is kind of a techno guy. Derek is very techno. I mean, there's been many things I've texted him for help with, and he's pretty sharp with that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's pretty technical minded.
Who needs grandkids when you have Derek?
Everybody needs a Derek.
Yeah, like Greg said, he's not here, so we can say good things about him. But if he's here, then it's on, just trash talk.
And you take the era out, and it's just Dick.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, he's a good guy though. He's all right. He's all right. He won't watch this far into the replay. So fine.
Oh no.
No, that's like trying to watch a whole Poe video. You know, you got the.
Well, you ain't gonna do that in one sitting.
You know, he went to school for that. You know, like there's a beginning, there's a middle, there's an end.
Right.
You might get the gameplay, but mostly you're going to hear about my day and how terrible it was. So.
I again, that's kind of why I like your channel, because I could just put it up on the side. It's similar to when I watch Phil. Like I'll put it up on the side while I'm working, and it's mostly an audio experience. You know, 9 times out of 10, you know, does it really matter to me what game he's playing? No, I'm there for him. I'm there for his community. Obviously, some games are more interesting than others, but I'm there
Not
for
the
him.
ones I play.
Guy. Some of them.
I'd watch more of Bliss's channel. I try to watch as much. He's been very supportive of us, so I try to watch as much as I can. But if he just plays some more Pac-Man on the 2600,
we had a conversation. I told him we got to get Todd Fry on our podcast. That would be must-see TV. That would be really funny to see. So for those who don't know, Todd Fry programmed the original Pac-Man on the 2600.
Oh, that would be good. That would be good.
Poe keeps saying, Phil keeps talking the talk. He's like, if I ever meet Todd Fry, I'm going to tell him he owes me $45. Like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
You're going to say, I love your stuff.
I love you. No. I just couldn't get into it, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, while there's a little bit of a lull, I'm going to do this. I'm going to step out. I told these guys at 7:30 I had to get up to do something, and it's 7:40 because I enjoyed you being here, Mike. And
I appreciate it.
Come back whenever you want. As far as I'm concerned, it's up to you guys. Send him a link whenever he wants to show up. It's been fun having you here. I do have to get just a recap with everybody. Don't forget, Bart's doing the Knight Rider on what I call all others. I'm doing them on the Switch. We're going to meld them together. And don't forget to play Kangaroo. It's a kangaroo playing Donkey Kong or something like that. That's what it looks like to me. So, Mike, thanks for being here. Poe, I love you, buddy.
Hey, nice to meet you.
We'll see you next time, guys. Take care.
Good night, Greg.
Night.
Later. Night.
And don't be saying shit about me. Don't be saying
Keep talking about Greg for at least 30 seconds because he'll sit down. He's still down there. He's still in the green room.
Yeah, I'm here.
He'll sit down there and then, yeah. Okay, you're safe, Poe. Go ahead.
We didn't play his music once this week. His mind was focused a little bit. He has his good days. He has his bad days.
Now, this is the fair game time because he did log out. He's no longer in the green room. I can see that. Yeah. And he's so old, it takes him at least 3 minutes to figure out how to get us live on YouTube on his phone. So we can say anything we want for the next 2.5 minutes.
You got that window.
Yeah. But,
No, when they're not here, I gotta say nice stuff about them. I could talk shit about you guys, but now that Greg's not here, I gotta be like, yeah, Greg's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Sharp-witted.
Oh, that's what these guys did. I missed one show because I'm in the hospital, and they're digging in my heart and stuff at the hospital, and these guys are talking shit about me live that night. Poe couldn't make it. He's a stupid bastard. Well, I'm laying on the table.
And you're laying on the table like, why are they hitting me with these truth bombs when I'm at the hospital?
I like how he's linking them together. Those were not two related things. Poe couldn't make it. Poe's the stupid bastard. Those two things they were. It's just one was that.
Where's the gaming road warrior? He's such a sweet guy. He just never says anything about me to my face.
They're not mutually exclusive, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're not mutually exclusive. One was a temporary thing. He missed the show because he was, and one is just always. He's a dumb bastard. One is a constant. No.
Well, that's the right way you want to be, because you need that fourth slot more often than not.
Right. Yeah. See, Mike, he's our he keeps us in check though. We tend to behave better when Mike's here.
Yeah, so. He plays all sides.
Well, he's the one that you have on. It's like on Tuesdays we have Brian from BD Retro Mods. His purpose there is to make the rest of us seem respectable.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what the gaming road warrior will do. We like, Pat.
Yeah.
I know. He said, Bart is an asshole, like you say, but we got to do this for the show. I'm like, all right, you're right.
Meanwhile, I'm
for the show.
I can hear you, Mike. I'm right here. Yeah.
I could just imagine your green room. I could just imagine your green room before the show. Mike just is like, "Oh, fucking, let's do this again." All right.
Oh.
Put on a smile. Put on a happy face.
Yeah. Our green room before the show.
Just there, like, and you're gonna like it too, you little bitch.
That's a funny concept.
Bart.
I was just going to say, that's a funny concept, our green room before the show. We usually show up at 1 minute before showtime, and then at 5 minutes after, we're like, should we click go live?
Right. See, we've said that in the Discord, we don't plan any of this stuff. People are insinuating we know what the challenge is, like way ahead of time. There are nights we don't know what the freaking challenge is until we're all sitting here. We're like, whose turn is it to pick? I don't know. I guess I'll pick something and I'll pick this. So we don't know. We do text each other through the week, and most of the time that's me and the Gaming Road Warrior taking pictures of our food at dinner time and sending it to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually, yeah.
Pictures this week?
What's that?
What were the highlights of the food pictures this week?
I sent a Big Mac because he got... What's the name of that Subway?
Big Mac is part of your highlights? You fucking Americans, I tell you.
Well, I have other ones I didn't send, stuff that the wife made. But that day there, Gaming Road Warrior was getting delivery to his job, so he had to tell us.
You don't take pictures of the good homemade food. You take pictures of the processed, mass-produced crap.
Well, yeah, because then I know I can get him go. I can get Gaming Road Warrior going all the time. If I picked up an ice cream from Dairy Queen or something like that, or a Big Mac, and take a picture and send it.
You're not going to be able to see that. There's Poe sending pictures of his Bud Light backpack he's getting.
Yeah, there was a Bud Light backpack and a Bud Light speaker I saw yesterday. What I actually said, I had to send it to those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, the food thing, if I send it to those guys early enough, then I get Gaming Road Warrior going. And he's like, oh, that looks good. So then he'll have to stop someplace for fast food on his way home. 3 hours. That was my that was my Chinese buffet yesterday when we went down. We were gone all day.
That does look good. So what you're saying is,
this is the reply that you get.
I got a picture of a cat from Gaming Road Warrior.
So what you're saying is you share the fast food pics because you want to coordinate all your cardiac arrests.
Yes, I know that I can get him going each time. I'm like, look, I just I got this blizzard from Dairy Queen, and then all of a sudden, oh, yummy, that looks good. And then 3 hours later, when he's coming home from work, he's like, look what I got.
Damn it. Yeah. A blizzard does sound really good right now.
Back to Poe's point about our challenges and stuff. Usually, this week I think I told you guys this morning that I was picking, or last night that I was going to pick kangaroo. Usually our whole discussion is who's picking this week. If we have a discussion beforehand, and if we decide, okay, Poe's going to pick, we don't know until he submits his video. And he'll send me the video for his gameplay and intro, and I'll use Handbrake to resize it, make sure it's okay for StreamYard. Yeah. And all I do is watch the very beginning and the very ending to make sure it recorded the whole thing. So sometimes, like last one he did that pretend like he was going to do Popeye.
Yeah, and pretend I'm going to do Popeye, then mention Mappy to throw everybody off.
Right.
And then it was RoboCop. So.
And it was RoboCop. But I only knew it was RoboCop because I watched the last few seconds to make sure that it got the whole video.
Yeah.
So, but
and then my son came up with the great idea. Whenever Bart did Dig Dug, then it was my turn a couple weeks later to pick the arcade game. My son's like, you should say Dig Dug. So I did that whole beginning. And this week we're playing Dig Dug, like as if I didn't remember we played it 2 weeks before. So
right. Yeah. Yeah. So we don't prepare at all for the show. And
but we don't really take suggestions either. I mean, it's just kind of like whatever game we want to play that week. I know Mappy's gonna happen eventually. Maybe on our 25th anniversary show, Mappy will happen because we talk about it every week. But yeah, we really don't know.
Well, I was gonna pick Mappy for like the last arcade challenge 2 weeks ago, and then right when we were getting ready to start, Greg was like, "Hey, I got an idea for okay, go. We'll do that instead." So it's just.
Yeah.
Anyone that comes up with something, that's fine. And and me and Poe just show up and make crude jokes and topic comments. that's
your color commentary. Mike is the serious content guy, and then Greg's there to appease senior citizens.
Yeah, he's
Greg's there to walk off the stage in the wrong direction at the end.
Yeah, he's the one that makes you feel better.
I feel bad.
Yeah, well, you're not part of the show. That's why we've known him for about 3 years.
If I had known him, once I've known him for a few years, I'll rag on Greg more. I'll
tell you how Greg came about on our show. Is when we did our show originally, and I had to miss that night because when I'm working, I get up really early Monday morning, and we weren't going with a set time when we did the show back then. We were all over the place, and I think you guys wanted to start at like 10 o'clock that night, something like that. Or those the guys that were
West Coast.
So I get up the next day and I'm driving to work and I'm watching the replay and I see some guy in a bow tie and bib overalls and a fedora or something like that. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And next thing I know, I hear this guy's joining your show. I'm like, great.
Yeah, replacing Poe. This guy's better than Poe.
Yeah, what the hell? Got more of a reaction. Everybody's like, we love having this guy here. I'm like, really?
There's a bow tie and everything.
But then I got to know him. And I really hated him, but I said, why not do a show together? No, I love Greg. Greg is the greatest.
Well, it's a funny thing, since Poe brought up the old show that we did, and Poe wasn't there when Greg was added to the show, and it was a single person's decision to just make Greg a permanent. None of us had a problem with it. Greg's a good guy. We like him. We got along with him right away. But we were kind of told, yeah, Greg's on the show now. As a regular, like, okay, whatever. But then, ironically, when Greg was kicked off that show, they didn't even tell him.
I was told about it. I was told that G. Parker wasn't being asked back, as if we were doing a TV show or something.
Yeah.
The show got ridiculous. Bart walked off first, him, prima donna. He walked off. I'm out of here. Mike had other things to do, and he was putting his own channel on hold. So then, so then it came down to me and these two other guys that were on the show back then. And I thought G. Parker was coming back, and they were like, "Oh, we just." It's kind of like in Office Space. We just stopped paying him. We fixed the glitch. We just didn't tell G. Parker he's not coming back. And I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. So I messaged these guys and I said, this is what's going on, and this is bullshit. They're not asking. But at the time, I don't think I was messaging Greg directly, but Bart was. So I told him, I said, this is what's going on, and I'm not going back either. Greg's gone. As soon as Bart walked off, I wasn't feeling good about the show. And then Mike said that he was going to take a break, and I really wasn't feeling good about the show. But I had two other people chirping in my ear, let's keep this going. Let's do this. Let's do this. And I'm glad we got out. Because I did. Once I dropped out after all of you guys were gone, that was it. They tried to do, I think, one show without us with somebody else.
Right.
And they didn't even get to the live part that night whenever they were like, this ain't going to happen. It ain't going to work.
Wow.
One of the people was just really, and we just, it didn't work out. His idea was, we need to get A-lister Hollywood people on the show and this and that. And it's like, none of us have a huge channel, and we weren't talking about things like homebrew and guests like that. Where are we supposed to get this guest star that's going to be on here that you want? You want us to get somebody that's huge in the industry. We're nobody, so.
Yeah.
Those were the days. I did have a lot of fun. And every time I heard Mike and Bart talking and laughing, I knew we clicked. The three of us clicked, and then Greg came along and that clicked too. So that's why we're still here.
Well, I know I enjoy. I don't always get to watch live because Sunday nights usually aren't a very good time for me, but I do watch it back. I like the chemistry. I like the nonsense. I like the fact that you guys aren't so serious. Our podcast on Tuesdays, I love that too. But it's a very different kind of beast, right? Like we've got a set topic or a set thing, and we try to keep it to an hour. Whereas you guys, like I said, it's like hanging out with a bunch of buddies, whether you're on here or not.
That's
it comes down to, is my phone going to die, or how tired is Bart? That's when we'll go off.
And our show is just kind of four guys that were friends, and we just hang out and talk about things. And,
the neat thing was we were brought together originally because we all were from different aspects of gaming. You and Greg were doing pinball. You were you weren't doing the simulation. You've been in the simulation, but I don't think you were really doing that yet on the channel.
Videos on that.
Right. Yeah. And Mike and I played old stuff, or consoles and stuff. Like Mike played a lot of the newer stuff that I wasn't playing yet. So they kind of put us together for that reason. And it just kind of works. Now we're all playing the same thing as each other because we've been friends. We talk about these games. So.
Well, and you get access, like Greg was saying earlier. He had never played Ninja Gaiden, and you get access to stuff that normally, if you just kind of stayed in your own scope, you never would.
Because I bought VR for the PS4 for my kids, and I touched it a couple times and just never paid much attention to it. And Off Grid's the one that said, "Hey, he's playing the MetaQuest 2. And these games are cool on there. You guys should try it out sometime." And then I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. And 5 seconds later, I had one coming in the mail. Then Greg had it, and Mike, and that opened the whole thing up. Once the PSVR 2 came out, I'm like, yeah, I want this thing too. So I love it. I love it.
Good.
Yeah. Mike, now, do you play pinball at all, or are you just...
I play pinball very poorly. I don't do any of the virtual pinball. But I love going and playing pinball. There's only one or two places around me that actually have it. But when I went last time I was down in Buffalo area, there's a place there that has like 150 tables. And when I went to the Midwest Gaming Classic, they had tons of stuff on free play. That's the best pinball for me because, like I said, I'm not good at pinball. But Yeah, I like pinball enough to have a favorite table, which is Black Knight 2000. And I just like it because the music, and if you can get the chorus going, that means you're getting a decent score and all that.
Yeah.
And I like it enough, but I have never invested to go much further than that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. See, Poe, we get to talking pinball. Poe just leaves because that's the way he is.
It's just not happening.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, now, Greg there, he's got 2 digital tables and 2 physical tables. And this is how big of a dick he is. When we went up to visit him, my wife got a high score on his Stranger Things pinball, and somehow when he did an update, her score got erased. Everything else stayed, but my wife's. He picks on she's like 2'6" tall, little girl, and he picks on her. Yeah, but yeah, that is a true story.
Well, that's probably easier than explaining how this 2'6" innocent little girl kicked his butt on his own pinball table.
Yeah, but I still got him because he has his favorite arcade game is Galaga, and he has a bar top Galaga. And if you go to Greg's house and look at that bar top, the top score is OGA. So he has to look at that every time he plays his favorite game. Yeah, he was actually kind of bummed that when he did that update, it said it was going to save all the scores, but it did change that one mode that Kelly had the high score on.
Oh.
He's like, oh man. So we like to pick on him because he couldn't handle being beat by a girl. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, Kelly says Poe went to get another beer, but he has to turn his camera off because he's not wearing pants.
Well, yeah.
That's okay.
In which case,
you don't want to see crack 'em and sack 'em.
Polo's here. He said, "Hi, Mike, guest." And did we play a lot of FX tables this weekend? That's why I got into the pinball there. And which ones are your favorites? I tell you, I played a lot of. Yeah, I played all of them. I really enjoy that soccer one. I know it's not really new because it's an FX2 table that's brought to FX. I never played it on FX2. I had a great time with that table. It's got a lot of interesting aspects. This week's challenge, Polo, we're doing Knight Rider. I love that table too. Go to the Discord in the pinball challenge thing, and you'll see the code to join if you want to play that. But yeah, I like all those tables that came out. The Zenith was pretty cool. The Battlestar Galactica tables.
I really ended up liking that one more than Knight Rider. And I've only played it once so far, but the one time I played it, I liked it more than Knight Rider. So, which surprised me. Yeah, because Knight Rider was one, just for nostalgic reasons, that's one I was looking forward to the most.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the one I was excited about. And then Xena I was excited about until I found out that it didn't have any pictures of her from the Spartacus show with no top on. And it's just
Greg will find something out there. There'll be a mod.
Right. Yeah, but I really do. I like all the tables, but that Battlestar Galactica was the one I was least excited about, and I enjoyed that table a lot.
Right.
It's a fun table, so it's a good time. You never played the digital tables much, or I just don't like the idea of digital tables.
It's not that. No, I think it's a great idea. I have played one at a friend's place. The same friend that we interviewed last week. He's down near Buffalo. It just, I don't know. It's not the same. Like feeling the table and go dun 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 dun, and
right.
I don't know. Video pinball doesn't do it for me the same way that regular pinball does. And I guess I've never been a big enough pinball guy to do that. If I had a lot of disposable income, of course I'd have a video pinball and probably 2 or 3 of my favorite regular tables, but I don't have room or money for that. So
right.
I play it when it's free play somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I owned at one point, 2 physical pinball tables, And
Okay.
now that we live in a tiny house, and you can see my entire arcade room is right here. It's a 6x12 trailer. So the digital table, I have dozens of tables on it. I don't have room for. I don't even have room for this. It's probably about 3/4 scale. If I had a full-size pinball table in here, you wouldn't be able to get past it. So for me, it's a.
But that makes total sense. Yeah. And if you really love pinball, it's a great thing to be able to have a whole bunch of tables.
Yeah. Right, and put whatever tables you want on there that you like.
Yeah.
And it is fun. I've only ever played an actual, not actual, but a table like that at an arcade. They had one there with the South Park games on it, some of the old FX2 stuff on it. And it was cool. You know, they had it right next to the real pinball tables, but it was cool. But I wasn't into them really. I got FX2, I think, years ago on the PS3 just because it was free and played the free games, and then never thought about them until I met Bart and Greg and they were talking about it. And then now I have every table on FX as soon as it comes out. I just bought the last 3 tables I needed on FX3. So I'm having fun with the challenges anyway.
Yeah, it's amazing if you got a lot of money and you're a pinball fan. You can get them with the solenoids in there, knockers and all that stuff, and rumble effects. Right. Yeah, I've seen people that they'll have the really good setups, and that they're like, you can feel the ball rolling on the table because there's a little, and when it hits the pop bumpers and stuff, you're feeling it. So I never invested in any of that. I had this one I used to have set up. I lost the software stuff. I got to find the software, but it has an accelerometer, so you can physically nudge the table. Stuff like that. So that stuff does help. But
that's important to me because I love feeling knockers.
Right. Yeah. That's the whole reason he got into pinball. We said you could feel the knockers, and he's like, sign up.
Nice knockers. Thank you.
What we really meant. But
little Young Frankenstein.
Yeah. Great movie.
Oh, I love Young Frankenstein.
That is an incredible movie.
Have you seen Blazing Saddles?
Werewolf. Oh, Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles.
Is it true what they say about your kind? It's true.
It's true. Oh, Madeline Kahn. Oh, rest in peace. She was hilarious.
That was the one scene that they did end up cutting some of it out because they had the extended thing where he says to her, I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but he said to her, I hate to burst your bubble or something, but you're sucking on my arm. But they did. Mel Brooks said, I did cut that line out. They wanted him to cut half the movie out. And he said that's the only line he actually cut.
Son of a bitch shot me in the ass. Yeah, but I shoot with this hand.
Such a great movie.
Anything Mel Brooks, right? Anything. Oh, Gene Wilder was one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks movies. You've stolen her heart, you prince of thieves, you. Come on. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Could you imagine if someone pitched Blazing Saddles now? They would be banned from the state of California. Not just from Hollywood. Get out.
It's just ridiculous because people really do find this stuff funny. I think the majority of us do, but people are afraid to say it because you're going to get attacked by the smaller.
The whole point of comedy, and I've heard so many comedians say this, including Mel Brooks, is if you can't laugh about the uncomfortable stuff, there's a big problem with society.
Right. You need to be able to laugh in order to get through life, right?
Yeah. And comedy has always been there to cope with the terrible stuff. So people complaining and getting all offended are completely missing the point. We should be joking about gender identity. We should be joking about political issues. We should be joking about all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. Post-style productions could make a great Blazing Saddles too. That's right.
I think he would be more apt to make the Beat 'em and Eat 'em sequel, Shower 'em and Devour 'em.
Definitely. If I could make a game, that would be the first. Maybe I will with that NES maker I've been looking at for the last few years.
Yes, I've got it. I have made 3 games.
Oh, nice. I've always looked at that thing, and then I'm like, you know what? It's going to be like everything else. We got that Nintendo Switch Garage Builder or whatever it was, and PlayStation 4 had that Dreams where you could create games. Me and my son are like, we're going to make the greatest games, and then we can't even get through the tutorial without falling asleep, so we never made anything. We're impatient. We're going to make the greatest game.
NES Maker is really good. It makes things a lot easier, but if you think it's just a simple, I'll click this and it'll make my guy act like Link from Legend of Zelda, it's not like that. You still need to, there's a lot of ins and outs. I've also been looking at GB Studio. That looks like something I could potentially make a game for.
Oh, nice.
And that makes, obviously, Game Boy and Game Boy Color games.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I had a hard time. Yesterday, we went to a store that is more a vinyl store than it is anything now. It's called CD Warehouse. We used to have more of them around the Pittsburgh area, but now I only know of one. We don't get down there very often. But I went in. I made a video I'm going to put up at some point. But they have the retro room with an old leather couch. VCR. Okay. They used to have a game system hooked up. They have a Ms. Pac-Man arcade. And they used to have a lot more retro games there, like even older stuff. I went yesterday, and now they're more into the VHS and vinyl stuff. People are really collecting that. But
are people collecting VHS?
Yes, big time. And it's mostly, I think, more kids like my daughter's age that are 23 or 24 that remember right at that time when DVD was getting popular. Maybe they watched VHS, and it's kind of huge there. And it's like, I'm looking at some of this VHS stuff that's sitting there, and I'm like, we just threw a bunch of these same movies in the friggin' trash 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
Give them away for free at a garage
sale.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I still have a bunch. I have some good ones. I could make some money now.
I don't have many left, but
I got the THX Star Wars releases.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I have that.
And I've got the original, 80s VHS releases of Star Wars as well.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I think I have VHS versions of Star Wars.
Yeah, right. They kept coming out, right? And I had to buy them each time, and I got yelled at each time, too.
Yeah.
But I have Time Life, I think it was, in the early 90s. They were doing the best of Saturday Night Live.
Oh, okay.
And so I had that for every year up until then. It got to the point where they ran out of years, the best of each year. So then they started doing the best of this person and that person. And those are VHSs that I've saved. But I haven't watched them in 30 years either. They've just been sitting there. So I know once the wife finds that stash, she'll be trying to get rid of them. But
you'll be buying them back at the thrift store.
I have the VHS of Behind the Green Door, Devil and Miss Jones, and Debbie Does Dallas. those are the VHS. I tried to sell them at a yard sale, and Kelly ended up buying them. So I sold them. Oh, you just never know. You never know what's going to be said on this show.
You never do.
Yeah, that's what I watch. So, all right. Well, what else we got to talk about? Because
Saki
I'm getting tired. This is not a denial. That is not a denial that she bought all my porn VHS tapes that I was selling at the yard sale. She'll tell you it's just because she didn't want that 7-year-old to buy them, but that's not the real reason.
Could have made that 7-year-old a man.
Right. He had cash. No. But I'm getting sleepy tired. So, I mean, I'm willing to stick around if you guys had something you needed to talk about. Felt like it's time.
I just realized I haven't uploaded my mini review for tonight yet. so I should probably go and do that anyway. And guess what it is, Poe?
Chase the chuck wagon.
Yes.
I don't have it out here anymore. I actually put that away. Holy crap. There's a game I don't have out here.
You found something that Poe can't just pull out of his ass at his moment's notice.
Wow, yeah, I took it back in the house. Holy crap.
Well, because it's worth something.
Right?
While he's looking, I should play Greg's music. Is it playing? I can never hear the music. All right. So I guess we'll call it here. Chaos has the last word about the THX Star Wars. He's got two sets.
He's got 2 sets. He's rolling in dough now.
He is rolling. He is rolling. All right. So we're going to go ahead and call it here. I'm going to play the big 12-second outro. And you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, you're welcome to stick around for a minute in the green room if you want, because Phil and I stick around for a second. I played the 12-second outro when Phil came in. He was so tired of our shit, he didn't even sit through the 12 seconds. He was gone.
Whenever we have a guest on before the show, he always tells them, okay, at the end, I'm going to roll the outro, but stay. There's going to be 10 seconds of black, and then we'll all be back here. So maybe he thought you guys were just going to scram.
yeah, he bolted during the 12-second outro. So, all right, thanks, Mike.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Every time you've come on, it's just been a blast. Loved it every single time. Every time I've gotten to talk to you, it's been awesome. I do have.
And I'll see you in the chat for Bliss tomorrow. Let's just make it happy and fun like we always do.
It is nice.
Okay, so tomorrow is a holiday here, so I might be sleeping and I might miss Bliss tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
But Tuesday for sure.
Yeah. It is
and we did have Armed Forces Day yesterday, so people serving in the military, thank you very much.
Yes, I hear that. All right. We're out of here. Thanks for watching.